Don't kill ads. Told her she was going to listen. can't move my body. Help me. Okay, one. I can't stand being here any longer. I'll see you outside. Look, Javier. These people have come to make you a gift of their souls. Isn't that kind of them? Even Amkip is here. Now your dream of becoming like him can come true. Thank you ever so much for coming to our wedding. You were our witnesses. I would have kept them without them. You wait. It's right over, my love. All you ever dreamed of is right here. To have and to hold the better force worth your end for. In sickness and health, to love and cherish, and death do us part. What have you done? Javier! No! Oof. Try as I might, I cannot shake a creeping sense of dark foreboding, but it avails us not to fret about the unknown. We must concentrate instead on the problems of the present. The problems have been relatively quiet of late, and the beast tribes who've summoned them are under constant surveillance by the grand companies. Should any suspicious activity be afoot, you may be certain that we will hear of it. And until such a time as a permanent solution to the primal problem has been found, we can do little but wait and observe. As for the Asians, Urianger is wholly dedicated in finding a means to which we may defeat the dark beings. Let us pray for good tidings on that front. But all this you already knew. Let us speak then of more current matters, in particular the state of the Crystal Braves. Alpha did well to found our organization, but ensuring its smooth operation is another matter entirely. Though I do not doubt he is doing his best, I felt that a helping hand or two would not go astray. To this end, I offered to send one of the Archons to assist him, but he declined. You know how he can be, independent to a fault and singularly loath to accept help. Save, of course, when that help comes from you. Alpha has entrusted countless matters of import to your care in the past, and we believe he would not hesitate to do so again were you to offer. It should be most graceful if you would go to him and support him whenever manner you are able. Dispatch the first unit to Ul'dah. The second and fourth are to stand by for further orders. My enemy, my countrymen, are skilled without bow blade. I've made it my mission to rally those with such talents to the Braves' cause. I can only hope we can be some small assistance. Condemn refugees to death. Wait a minute, that's not right. We must guide them to the little Alamigo, lest we'll condemn them to sudden death. Ida, what did I just tell you? Condemn refugees to death. Wait a minute, that's not right. If Ikari and more skilled culinarians work together, I dare say they could create extraordinary dishes to satisfy Yarzan and Delman alike. Yes, it would be foolish to sacrifice nutrition for flavor. In traditional Delman cuisine, we strive for perfect balance, not only to flavor and texture, but also nutrition. For a meal to be truly satisfying, it must be nourish the body as well as delight the senses. And then this still was. A dazzling full arrangement. Each blossom appears with beauty in her own right. Ah, the blessing, burning. Over an active imagination. Look forward, never back. Devote yourself only to the present. That is what I've learned from the donuts. Those azure uniforms are really rather striking, but I think I shall rather remain a scion for the nonce. These also become my home and the scions of my family. Besides, I'm not sure if blue is really my color. Green of my cassock brings out my eyes, just as Hori's reaches bring out the red in his. Not really young is dispirited, making most of their newfound freedom, no doubt. What is it, Amkip? And to be concise, I am rather busy. You would lend a hand, you say? I see. Now that you mention it, there is a matter that wants for attention. Given its sensitive nature, I was hesitant to trust it to my braves, but the demands about my time are such that I have little choice. It is not to say the men want for labor, though we are but newly formed, there is a great demand for our services. Your heart pressed to answer all petitions for my journeys. Practice. I would sooner attend to the particular matter myself, but my presence is required elsewhere. That being the case, I have entrusted its resolution to my second command, Captain Oliver. Tell him I've sent you and he will furnish you with the particulars. My thanks in advance.
Hail to you, Scion. How might we serve you? Commander Leveilleur bade you serve us? These are welcome tidings indeed. Given the sensitive nature of the task, I could not rely on one of my own. That which I'm about to tell you, I tell you in the strictest confidence. Some days ago, we received certain documents from an anonymous source. They notified us of the presence of a Garlean agent within the ranks of one of the Grand Companies. Following some discreet inquiries, we identified a suspect among the Immortal Flames, whom we detained for questioning. Alas, the man was not our agent. He was but one of many men in the agent's employ. We pressed the traitor for a name, but he had none to give. He claims never to have met his master, whom he knows only as the Ivy. He was, however, certain that this Ivy had coiled itself around every part of the Immortal Flames. It would seem our quarry joined the company some time ago, and gradually recruited others to his cause. These conspirators are the vines by which he learns our secrets, all without exposing himself. It won't be easy to identify the Ivy amidst this tangled mass of subterfuge, but we have a tendril in our hands, and we shall follow it all the way to the gnarled root. Now, much as I would prefer to proceed with due discretion, circumstances demand that this matter be settled post-haste. Garlemald's War of Succession nears its end, and it is feared that the Empire will soon resume its march on Eorzea. When it does, we can ill afford to have traitors in our midst. The Ivy must be rooted out now. We must begin by apprising General Reborn of our findings. I would ask that you accompany me to the Hall of Flames, and remain on hand to see that things go smoothly. Assuming the Ivy's tendrils are as widespread as we believe, he will be aware that an investigation is underway, and if that is the case, he may well move against us. We must be prepared for anything, while taking care not to betray our purpose by seeming prepared. A simple enough task for a one-man army like you.
We must begin by praising General Reborn of our findings. Pray meet me at the Hall of Flames, and remain on hand to see things go smoothly.
Well, well. What brings you here, my friend?
He is here at my behest. Greetings, Reborn. It has been a while.
Hilbert, you old scoundrel. When they told me you'd be visiting, I scarce believed my ears. But look at you! The honored captain of the Crystal Bloody Braves. Who'd have imagined, eh?
Not many, but fewer still would have imagined your destiny lay in politics, old friend.
Aye. We've both come far, have we not? Lest you wonder, Hilbert and I go back a long way. We've been friends and rivals since we were lads. The last time we saw each other, Alamigo had just fallen, so you can guess how many summers it's been. And in all that time, not a word from the fool.
Ah, well, my dealings tended toward the modest and mundane, unlike some I could mention. As I hear it, no sooner did you reach Thanalan than the brass blades clapped you in irons and dragged you off to die on the blood sands. Being a stubborn sort, you won 1,000 matches and earned yourself a place in the people's hearts while you were about it. Then, with your mountain of prize money, you bought the Colosseum and secured a seat on the Syndicate. Those balls, brother! Rags to riches does not do it justice. You're a hero to the common man.
Bah, spare me. I'm no hero. If anyone is worthy of that title, it's our friend here. Next to him, I'm little more than a glorified butcher. But you, Hilbert, you sell yourself short. By all accounts, you are an adventurer of some standing.
I like to think that I did my part for the greater good. But if you're no hero, then I'm no adventurer, not in this company. Anyway. I have tidings.
So there has been progress. I've let it be known that this meeting is a reunion between old friends. None will give your visit a second thought. To convene elsewhere would only attract attention. Let us speak here, in plain view of all. So it is we who have been compromised. Teleji Adeleji's machinations have shaken Ul'dah to her foundations. In such uncertain times, a man's loyalty may be bought for a fistful of gil. But if this snake has truly been in our midst for as long as you say, we must needs consider a far graver possibility. Conspiracy. Could it be that the Monetarists have been in league with the Empire from the first? Very well. I will have my most trusted men investigate the matter. Continue your inquiries in the meantime. It does me well to see you again, old friend. When next we meet, let it be over a flagon of ale.
I look forward to it. Let us reminisce of bygone days, and drink to the future of our homeland. Flame General. You wear the mantle well, old friend. I must work hard if I'm to keep up. Well, it would seem your services were not required after all. I dare say we have Reborn's prudence to thank for that. Still, I was glad of your presence. My thanks, Scion.
hunt for the Ivy begins in earnest, sire. Suffice it to say, we must tread warily. One misstep may cost us cost us our lives. The business here is concluded for the time being. As we return to the Rising Stones and report to Commander Levigan. It's finally over. Would that could have been different, but what choice did we have? Let this be my last act as an adventurer. I've done quite enough harm as it is. Need to go home and live out my days in... Huh? No, it can't be. I'm sorry, please forgive me. You are returned from Mildal, Commander. And not a moment too soon. Something has happened. Trouble. You will recall that the Fourth was tasked with guarding the rendezvous site used by the enemy's minion in its Imperial context. Soon after you left, we received word that the unit was ambushed en route to its destination. God damn it. According to the report, one of ours has been taken captive. The Guardians are not want to treat the foreman with dignity, and I have grave fears for her safety. We must dispatch a rescue party at once. We call those braves who are afield. Begging your pardon, Commander, but we have not the time. I'm afraid I must ask for your aid once more, sire. An ill-prepared rescue party will only serve to provide the Guardians with more captives. Yes, time is of the essence. Simply put, you are the best chance we have. Captain Milbert has the right of it. I trust you are willing? Good, you are. Now, Alien of the Fourth lies in wait in the tangle near the entrance to the casting center. Seek her out, and she will apprise you of the situation. Hang in there, Resh. We'll free you yet. You would aid us in the rescue mission. We are on your debt, Warrior of Light. Now time is against us, so allow me to brief you on the situation. Godlings fell upon us without warning, wounding poor Resh and they're holding away into the castle yonder. Outnumbered as we are, it was all we could do to flee and regroup. Even as we speak, the Godlings may be intrigating Resh, or worse. With her hurts, I fear she would not long survive their attentions. We must rescue her without delay. Our order may be yet in its infancy, but the bonds that bind us as strong as Mithril. None of us will stand by while comrade suffers. We, the remnants of the Fourth, will infiltrate Castle Sentry. Please help us find the Resh before it's too late. Go for the main affair, eh? Where am I? Resh, thank the gods we found you. And thank you, Warrior of Light. Now to quit this cursed place. Resh cannot move with those wounds. She will need to be carried out. I believe a diversion is in order. Now we trouble you to provide. Given your reputation, I suspect the Godlings will only be too unhappy to grant you their attention. If you create a commotion within the castle, we should be able to steal when noticed. Let us speak once we are safely outside these walls. awaited your return most anxiously, my friend. You've done us a great service indeed. Thanks to your aid, our comrade Resh is safe and we have suffered no further casualties. Words cannot well express my gratitude. All that's left is report the mission's success to Commander Levier. We shall go on ahead to the Rising Stones. Ah, does see me well to see you thus returned. Though I doubt not your prowess, entering another new stronghold is generally considered a risky venture. Must confess to having been a trifle anxious. But here you are, hale and whole, having succeeded in your mission as is your wont. Lest you wonder, the woman you rescued is being cared for by the Domans. Thanks to their expert administrations, the danger is past. You have my gratitude, Hank. Allow me to thank you also, Sire. Rest shall you see her life. We escaped with minimal casualties this time, but we can no afford to be caught off guard again. The Empire is not an opponent to be trifled. As you say, Commander. I will see to it that the men keep their wits about them. And it may yet take some time, but I will not rest until we have identified and apprehended the Ivy. I have every confidence in you will succeed, Captain. As for you, Amkip, I realize you have scarce caught your breath. I'm afraid there's no rest of the worry. I require that you accompany me to Kurthus. We granted an audience with the Ishgardian dignitary, you see, and the man expressly requested your presence. Oh, do not look so surprised. You should be familiar with the trappings of fame by now. You shall depart as soon as you're ready. We've been blessed with a rare opportunity, Amkip, an audience with an ambassador of the Holy See of Ishgard. We had a treaty with Sir Emmerich, Lord and Commander of the Temple Knights in the Camp Dragonhead. It would be considered a great honor to serve the Holy See directly as Temple Knight. Needless to say, their leader boasts tremendous political influence. It would be wise to court his favor. For that reason, I consider your attendance essential. Sir Emmerich wishes to meet you, the man behind the legend, when I have the pleasure of your company. Antecedent should see the wisdom of this plan were you to request for permission to accompany me to Kurthus. Maybe you would feel this a waste of talent, which should doubtless be put noble to use. If so, I would remind you that the more good can be accomplished with a stroke of a pen than with a thrust of a sword. A meeting with the Guardian Ambassador? By all means, I think it's a wonderful idea. I have received no reports of etheric disturbances or unusual beast tribe activity of late. Alphinaud believes your presence may help him secure more favorable terms. I see no reason to deny him. What is hidden? I take it Amkip has explained the situation. Yes. Yet welcome to the Overture's Ark, and I hope I've whatever prompted them. These guardians have spurned all contact with other city-states for decades. I reach out now. What did I do? The question of their motives is one to which I have given no small amount of thought. Alas, I know no more than that we know. The tortuously reclusive nation of Ishgard is situated in the center of Abalathia's spine. Ruled by the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, at the head of which presides the Archbishop. Members of the original ARs and allies formed in the wake of Alamega's fall some 2 decades ago. Friends of communities who withdrew from the alliance as soon as the Imperial fleet was routed at the Battle of Silvertier's skies. Since which time, the borders have remained closed to all outsiders. They have rejected every one of their former allies' calls to reopen dialogue, turning a deaf ear to their nation's neighbors' pleas when the calamity loomed large. And on the fields of Cargno, where brave men and women laid down their lives in the defense of the realm, the bandits were conspicuously absent. I tried to convince Ishgard to rejoin the alliance at every opportunity. I've explained over and over again that unless Eorzea stands united, we cannot hope to preserve our freedom. One by one, our nations will fall, as once fell Alamego. And what have my efforts yielded? Why not? Surely this can be considered a step in the right direction. I should hope so. Rather than lowly messengers we have been fought off with in the past, this time we shall meet with a man of genuine influence. Of course, I'm not so naive to think that they will come to us out of the goodness of their hearts. We have something they desire, though I have yet to find out what. But such is the nature of diplomacy. They will bring their agendas to the negotiating table, and so will I, along with a handful of incontrovertible truths. The Empire will soon be at our doorstep once more. Indeed, rest assured I will expound upon this point and others. Just depart for Camp Dragonhead, Amkip. Our old friend Lord Harshafa is expecting us. Since our quest to recover the Enterprise, I understand you have further ingratiated yourself with the man. Excellent work. His fondness may prove useful to our cause. Oh, Abby, every welcome sight. Our hearts have been stoked into a blazing preparation for your arrival. It would not do to such a distinguished personage to catch cold while enjoying our hospitality. The gesture is much appreciated. I fear I shall ever struck on the cold climes. Ah, good Master Alphinaud. An honor, as always. Likewise, Master Lord Harshafa. Forgive us another imposition. I fear we have not relied over much on your aid since you so generously assisted in locating the Enterprise. Nonsense. Any debts incurred have long since been repaid. Besides, who can say what the future may bring? As for Tal as it may even seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. In any case, I am simply delighted that the Holy See is at last willing to grant you an audience. No doubt your discoveries at Snowcloak helped you to justify the decision. This recent resurgence of heretical activity is a grave concern to us all. But to the matter at hand, Sir Emmerich of the private kept Jack ahead earlier, and I am told he is eager to meet with you at your first convenience. You are doubtless weary from your journeys and desirous to rest a while in the warmth of our hearth. If you are willing to forego such comforts, pray inform the knight on station outside the Intercessor. He will grant you the entrance and send word to the other attendees. As inviting as your heart sounds, I think we best proceed to the intercessory forthwith. Find the entrance to the intercessory outside. Just around the corner to the right. Speak to the guard station then when you're ready to begin the meeting. We've been expecting you, sir. Please take your ease inside and I shall help some of the others.
Have faith, my friend. You need only state your case with confidence and clarity.
Commander Leveillard, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I am Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
Alphino Leveilleur, at your service. Your reputation precedes you, Sir Emmerich. I think we will find that we have much in common.
Speaking of reputations, yours towers over us all. Does it not?
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination. Full glad was I to learn that you would be joining us. Now then, shall we begin?
We know full well that the Garleans will return in force ere long. What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the primal menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last. Ishgard is not immune to these threats. I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean Alliance.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
On what grounds?
Despite their presence in Kurthus, the Ixal do not concern us. Their territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry. Consequently, the Holy See judges this to be a Gridanian affair, and Ishgard does not intervene in the internal affairs of other nations. Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not the knights to spare. As for the Garleans, we are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Mayhap one day, but not yet. Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight. We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, But if Ishgard's position has not changed, why did you agree to this meeting?
It was not only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Pardon?
It is not within my power to change Ishgardian policy, regardless of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure of influence. Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Fortin has offered to Revenant's Toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers. I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
Sir Emmerich, we would be in your debt.
No, you would not, for I require something in exchange. Of late, there has been a flurry of Dravanian activity, the purpose of which was not immediately clear. However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens. The dragon star waxes unnaturally bright, and there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of Midgard-Sorma.
The fallen guardian of Silvertear Falls? That's absurd.
Full many times have I gazed upon the dragon's corpse still wound around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived to plague the skies. I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say. As I told you before, to spare.
But we do. So you will intervene on our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
Do you accept these terms?
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments. I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions. Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal. Mayhap one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
Mayhap we shall, Commander.
What is the meaning of this?
The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked. It was Iceheart, my lord.
What? By the Fury? All our precautions were for naught?
Just when we were starting to make progress. To make matters worse, the caravan they spoke of was bound for Revenant's Toll of all places. Honestly, were I so inclined, I should think that the gods are conspiring against us. Happily, however, that I am not. I would know more of this attack. Let us speak with Lord Harshapon and find out what he has learned. I'm come to hear Lord Harshapon speak, not you. We just need to find these heretics. No, it will avail us not to rush. Let's see what Lord Harshapon has to say first. My sincerest apologies for the interruption, my friends, but the situation is such that we must act swiftly. If you be so kind as to elaborate. Iceheart's heretics fell upon the caravan bound for revenous toll as it was passing through Boulder Downs. It was an ambush, swift and ruthless. In an instant, every knight was slain, every crate seized, and then, as quickly as they appeared, they were gone. It would be an impossible feat without knowledge of the route, knowledge which only a select few are privy, I presume. Right, we can pursue that avenue of inquiry in due course, but it seems to me that examining the scene of the ambush would be our first objectives. The trail is yet warm. We must act swiftly, as Lord Harshball said, lest crucial evidence be lost. I have an act for discerning hidden truths, Aunt. Why don't you go and inspect the ambush site in person? An excellent idea. I'll inform my men that your intention upon arrival, and you shall gladly. It takes but one pair of loose lips. My men are conducting their own investigation at present. Follow the road south towards Modana, and you shall find them in the wagon in due time. I shall remain in Camp Dragonhead for now. Should you learn aught of interest, pray return at once. How the hell? Move along, adventurer. There's nothing for. Lord Horsefast bid you speak with us. Then you speak. Begging your pardon. As you can see, the left narrate car behind. Took the wagon for good measure. The whole thing's a bit odd, if you ask me. It would have been easy to just steal it. Damn sight harder to steal it all, now. I reckon they came prepared, but probably with wagons of their own hidden away off. No heed. Pay no heed to my ramblings. Absolute proof, 'tis not but speculation. Might be as the squire receiving care of the observatory to tell you something more factual. That is, if he's awake. Unlike myself, he was there during the attack. Not that his presence in now matters too much. You've come passing with the attack, haven't you? Came upon them just before the entrance to the Hall of the Seven Echoes. Pilgrims who marked them as lost and ill-equipped for journey further north. The leader called out to them, and the one stepped out forward to answer. Shortly she appeared, her silver hair flowing in the wind like a melting snow. She's a young girl, some poor lost man in search of salvation. The leader must have thought the same. I was why would he let me? Her jaw so close. They exchanged some words I couldn't hear, and she leaned forward and gasped to kiss his cheek. And then he sighed and crumpled to the ground. I didn't know what had happened until I saw the note turn red. And there was red where I looked. I tried to fight, but I took a blow to the head, and by the time I came to, the others were dead, and the heretics were still running the wagon. They'd have killed me, so I just lay still and listened. I saw its people who spoke of deliverance and resurrection, and they spoke of Shiva. Ah, you returned. What news do you have for us? Seems like Lady Isar does not scruple to sell her hands with blood. Who's this Shiva the heretic spoke of? Have you not read a single line of the Enchiridion, Master Alphino? Shiva's a traitor to kith and kin, an apostate who laid down with dragons. Now, we can expect all foreigners to know Ishgardian scripture so well, particularly when it comes to the patron saints of the heretics. Wait, see, she's the patron saint? Oh no, it makes all sense now. Lord Harshaval, what was the caravan's cargo? If I recall correct, Diamond Forge had requested a large quantity of crystal. Do you not see? Isar and followers intend to summon Shiva, as the beast tribe would put primal. Why else would they go to such lengths to secure crystals? I shall inform the Lord Commander at once. Lord Harshaval, would you agree that discretion is a paramount concern? Of course. I trust we can count on your continued support, Master Alpha. Signs of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to combat the primal threat. Our support is a given. I will send word to my brethren in Revenant's Toll. Our entire order must turn its efforts to the prevention of this summoning. Naturally, that includes you, though I am sure you would not be miss this in the world. Persistent attacks on our caravans seem more than a nuisance at the first. The heretics were a problem to be sure, but relatively minor. That was before I discerned the purpose behind the attacks. Now they have my undivided attention. After apprising my affiliate situation, I shall summon a unit of crystal braves to assist us. As for you, Amkip, pray join me in my boyfriend friend. Since the incident at Snowcloak, the Knights of House Durandare have redoubled their reconnaissance efforts in the region. It is my hope that they have information which may help us determine precisely where the heretics are hiding. Given a mutual enemy, Lord Dremel should be eager to oblige us. I shall see you there then? Good. By what means do these heretics travel so quickly? We must know, or our every attempt to be apprehended will be doomed to fall. The man will ever use to assist him in his most trouble. If he is correct, Icehart now poses a threat to Ishgard at large. Just so you know, my men have already started to arrive. Captain Lobert always keeps a few barracks at the ready in case of emergencies. Signs of the 7th Dawn wish to join the hunt for Icehart. Your senses were more than welcome, my friends. Concerning the report I just received, I dare say your timing could be no better. Well, all ears, Lord Dremel. A band of pilgrims is seen transporting a large number of crates to the west. The garb appears to match the description provided by the squire who survived the attack. Alas, our scouts lost track of them at Snowcloak, the self-same frozen wall which we speculated might conceal the heretics' hideaway. Suffice it to say, the disappearance of these pilgrims and their provisions all but confirms our suspicions. I have heard enough. My knights will join the hunt. I took the liberty of summoning the unit of Crystal Braves to Whiteburn front. Given the gravity of the situation, I trust you will agree that we must have every use of every resource available to us. These are extraordinary circumstances, Commander. It will be in your best interest to coordinate our efforts. Such was my intent from the very start, Sir Hamrick. And so it begins, my friend, though I dare say we'll put an all too brief collaboration. Icehart will not elude the combined forces of the Crystal Braves and Temple Knights for long. Nevertheless, a wise man does not wager all upon the success of a single solution. There may yet be a subtle means by which we can locate the heretics there. Perhaps Lord Dremel has one in mind. Yes, excellent. My lady, everything has been accounted for. If there is aught else you would have us do, pray speak, and it shall be done. Do not pose a great threat. The slain house Forton Knights would surely beg to differ. I think we can all agree that affordable default demands a calculated response. It would be foolish to dismiss alternative approaches when contending with such clever foes. It seems that we're always one step behind, a quarry ever just beyond reach. I would like to believe that the tables are about to turn. I must confess to having certain doubts. A joint effort may succeed where others have failed, but it could yield the self-same result. Fortunately, we are not without options. I trust you haven't forgotten Inquisitor Guillaume. We have not. The mystery of how the heretic remained undiscovered for so long has been much in our thoughts, as has the nature of what steps might be taken to prevent such a similar breach of security in the future. Accordingly, we have conducted exhaustive and covert evaluation of everyone in Whiteburn front. Though somewhere have found committed certain minor transgressions, we identified only one possible heretic. The man has pledged himself to the Iceheart's cause. He will have taken note of the movements of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves, and upon recognizing their intent, he may attempt to warn the heretics. The man's watch is done soon, at which point he must report to Sir Jean Thomas in the yard. We'd have to keep an eye on him. If he ventures beyond the walls, follow him discreetly. Should he meet with a heretic, do not interfere. Simply watch and listen. I have seen to it that the suspect knows nothing which can endanger our plans. If the suspect shows himself to be a heretic, we will deal with him accordingly. For now, we will merely observe, and may have a profit from his treachery. I wonder if this quest will get reworked to the Endwalker style. Hey, where the seven hells are you? Freezing my bollocks off here. I'm here, you bloody oaf. Why are you late? Standing on the wall, why else? I have duties to fulfill, you know. My sole duty is to the... Bloody heck, lower your voice so they hear us more from front. Yes, of course. Double Knights are... in Snowcloak. This is what you bring me? We already knew. Our comrades in Boulder Downs will use the tunnels. Dead before they know what's happening. Less. If I waste my time again, is that clear? Well, did your investigation bear fruit? I see. I shot the man detained out once. His guilt is... If you think I heard the words more clearly. If the few snatches we were able to make up meant less than lightning. It would seem the heretics are aware of our operation and confident they can support it. The commons in Boulder Downs are key to their plans, which means it is key to our plans that they be rooted out into the storm. We have long suspected that the heretics used a network of secret tunnels to traverse the highlands undetected. Given what you overheard, I fear that Snowcloak may be riddled with such passageways. The heretics in Boulder Downs are planning to use them to take our forces unawares. Nevertheless, we cannot allow that to happen. A contingent of House Dare Knights are patrolling the area, and I shall order them to begin searching for heretics at once. But knowing nothing of our enemy's numbers or readiness, I cannot say for sure that they will be sufficient. It would put my mind at ease if you were to consent to assist in my Knights of the Search. I know they would take courage for the presence of such a so-storied a warrior. Brave rendezvous with them at Boulder Downs. Palone is kind and may catch these heretics before their plans So the no mercy, Amkip. The lives of our allies are at stake. Oh, over here. My knights have sent no word of your coming. What happened? What is that in your hand? By the Fury. Those who were veterans with years of service. And now they lie dead in the snow. Their bodies must be covered. No, we have not the men to spare. Not now. Not while Iceheart prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics you dispatched were not sufficient number to contend with the combined strength of the Temple Knights and Christian Braves. There must be others, and I'll wager that they're on the way to Snowcloak as we speak. To make matters worse, it seems the traitor you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value after all. The parchment you recovered is a time table which got all the guardsmen's watches at the outpost of Snowcloak. The traitor was stationed there long before he accused our suspicions. Would that we have caught him sooner. With this information, the heretics would know when the watch was the weakest. They could use our tunnels with impunity to prepare their ambush. The timetable has not changed, you see. Of course, it will be changed now, but the heretics may already be in position. House Durandar must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing the knights from Stone Vigil. We can see no other way to safeguard the lives of our allies. Time is of the essence, Amkip. When my knights are made ready to depart, the heretics may take our allies in Snowcloak unawares. Superior training and equipment will avail them not if they are to cut down and air their solars at dry. But all is not yet lost. If you leave now, there may be still time to walk. Make haste if he sees you. Fly to Snowcloak and tell Sir Amkip everything we have discovered. God's bless who have designed this uniform. I would have frozen to death by now if not for this great coat. Sir Emmerich, he's over there. Have words with the man if you must. We shall speak anon. Amkip, this is a welcome surprise. Perhaps the only one this far. As you can see, we have yet to cover any hidden. You have my gratitude. Truth be told, we suspect the heretics might be plotting such attack, and we have confirmation of my knights on high alert. As Commander Levier informed, the Braves must be made aware. How can any one man hope to accomplish the things that ice this thing? They will be the work of years. We haven't had a disadvantage here. We should linger no longer than necessary. Must be here. I'm certain of it. Why else would it go to such great lengths to defend Snowcloak? It is but a pity this discovery comes when the enemy has such a disadvantage. Forewarned though we be, the heretics now know the terrain far better than we. I dare not think of how many are watching us at this very moment. Confound it. This is all wrong. I started as scrambling to save our own skins when we should be rightly straining every sinew to find her. And stop this damnable summoning. There she is! Come here, girl. That was close. They didn't hurt you, did they? Only my pride, Ida. There will be others nearby. We must see that they are given a similarly warm welcome. Commander Levieux. There's been a development, so together with the Temple Knights, we have secured the entrance of some half-dozen tunnels after spotting the enemies breaking the surface. But that's not all, sir. We think one of them may be important. Certainly the heretics have flung themselves upon our swords to defend it. Aha! Just as they suspected. Amongst this warren of tunnels lies the entrance to Iceheart's lair. Some of the others were going in. A moment, Alpha. The tunnel question is barely wide enough for 2 men abreast. We cannot say for any certainty where it leads, much less what is waiting for us there. Furthermore, we have no way of knowing how many heretics are still looking out here on the surface. What if they are to converge on this point after we enter the tunnel? For all we know, we could be funneling our forces into a trap. I take your point. The tunnel is indeed as narrow as you say. Greater numbers would be more hindrance than help. Should we encounter your difficulty, our allies would become an obstacle to escape. Change of plan. While we run to move with Amkip to keep these heretics at bay here, you go wherever the tunnel leads. If you find out outside of the end of it, do not let her escape. You venture into the unknown until you go see that you are prepared for anything. I suggest you call on your allies. There are not too many are probably in Ola's soul. The entrance to the tunnel, sir. It's just over here. Have you not seen the heretics breaking the surface, we never have noticed it. Press our orders will stand guard outside. Please be aware that even should you encounter significant resistance, we cannot leave our post. Too bad I can't use, say, Ida and Papalimo. Oh well.